Are there flame retardants on this particular turf?
That I can't answer. I don't know that.
And are there chemicals to reduce the static activity on this particular turf?
I'm way beyond way beyond what I can explain, other than just making sure that it passes through others.
What is the level of zinc in grass?
What is the level of zinc in grass?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
0.
When people take zinc, I mean, I take zinc in the winter as part of coldies. I mean, I don't know what the doses are, but I mean, it's people actually use it to treat their colds by taking zinc lozenges.
Now, Dan, we had discussed the other day in terms of zinc. It might have been with you, it may have been with someone else. There have been so many conversations. But my understanding is that zinc it's not necessarily a concern for humans, it's more of a concern within the runoff for aquatic life, is that right?
The Shaw letter from Mr. Phil Strickland, PhD, states that the other metal that has been scrutinized in areas near sensitive aquatic zones is zinc. Although zinc is not a human health hazard, certain aquatic species are sensitive to zinc levels. And then he goes on to say the SBR crumb rubber contains a zinc-based UV stabilizer that yields elevated levels of zinc in SBR crumb rubber, especially in freshly cut crumb rubber. These higher levels of zinc, although higher than the California limits, were not noted as a level of concern in the 2009 EPA report, which he provided. That's a quote from his letter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but reading his letter too, he bases his letter on a 2009 EPA report, when there's now EPA reports in the last couple of years, even more current. My other concern about this report is that reading through it, we have some things as late as 2003 that he's making statements about, and 2003 seems to be decades ago in terms of the issue about artificial turf.
I didn't see.
You go through each of his bidders, including he goes through his California statements. There's items from 2003. There's items from 2007.
And the most recent being 2013.
Right, but it's even September of 2013. There's been new information since December of 2013. The other thing he says here in one of his first sections, which I think is why we need a toxicologist or somebody to tell us, because here we are all trying to figure this out. You probably have the most experience and you don't know either, is that there's items including hazards, and he notes, and in one of these it notes there's a level 2 moderate hazard with one of the chemicals found. I mean, some of this information, I think we need to.
What page are you on, Kelly?
It's page 6 of 7 on the 37 or 3407B. His bidders include, and he went through the specifications and he started going through the listing. And here's the MSDS from July 23rd, 2008. And it has methane and those items. It talks about ingestion may cause severe injury to intestinal tract, liver, kidneys, stomach, throat, lungs, mouth, membranes, harmful or fatal if swallowed. Do not ingest. And then it goes to 3 pages later and says HMIS rating. And what is that exactly? You know what that is? And it says that it's a moderate hazard. And then you go to the next set of sheets, the MSDS for, this is firefighter awareness. And then the next section is August 17th, 2011. It goes through those hazards. But then it's noted here that it's a date prepared from August of 2003, even though the cover sheet says 2011. And that's on the crystalline silica in the form of quartz. And on that page, 107 gives an emergency overview warning about lung injury and cancer hazards. Do not breathe dust, may cause delayed lung injury, long-term exposure can cause scoliosis. Scoliosis is a respiratory disease which can result in delayed disabling and sometimes fatal lung injury. IARC has determined that crystalline silica inhaled from occupational sources can cause cancer. In humans, risk of injury is dependent on the duration and level of exposure. A single exposure will not result in serious adverse effects. And then it says to look at another section, which I couldn't find, to see exposure limit.